There you go. Now the sound's on because I unmuted the mic. What an idiot. Right, okay. So there we go. Should all be working. Should be able to see me looking at you. Hello everybody, how you doing? You alright? Should be able to hear me. There you go. Now the sound's on. Oh, right, let me mute that. Right, okay. You see, these are the things I have to deal with, right? I've got so many. I've got 1, 2, 3 screens, 4 screens, and I did away with my 5th one because I can't handle 4, never mind 5. But that's how many you kind of need if you're doing this solo and you don't have like a wee production team or a production person at least sitting beside you operating things. If you have to do it all yourself, and you want to add on the kind of wee things that I add on, like the chat and the wee pop-ups like this. Let's check the pop-ups. Bidding. Oh, there's a pop-up away back at the beginning. I'll just pop that in up. And that's Derek. Welcome to Ground Obstacle Avoidance, a new member of the channel. This isn't the stream. I'll just remind you, this isn't the actual show. It hasn't started yet. What I'll be doing is, now that it works, now that I seem to have my act together at last, and I did the midweek test, and a few of you were on board to let me know with that impromptu live stream test that it all worked. So I just basically replicated what I did during the week, and it seems to have worked. Discovered a few things that I haven't put into practice yet, that apparently I can have subtitles coming up on a live screen as I talk. Now, I don't know how that's going to work. I haven't tried it out yet, but I may do another midweek test just to see if that works, if it doesn't put in a delay and if the subtitles are fairly accurate. I may do that too, because I know we have some viewers who are not from Scotland who may find my accent a little bit thick. They might find me a little bit thick too, and that's fair enough. Right, so, I've got my clock up. I've moved the clock position on the screen. You can probably see it there. It's up. Can I point to it? Yeah, point the right way, Robert, you idiot. It's up. It's there now. It used to be down there beside the tip jar, right? But I moved it up to there so that it's easier for me to glance up and see, how long have I got left before I have to stop talking. I don't know if that tip jar's working. I think it does. I think if you subscribe to the channel, your name pops up at the top, up along here somewhere, and then one of the wee Windswept Robert icons will drop down, blink, into the tip jar. If you put in a super chat or something like that, your name will pop up and some coins will tinkle down into the tip jar and then probably bounce out and spill all over the place. It should work. I don't know if it does or not, but hopefully I'll find out tonight. If somebody throws something in there, I might find out. Right, so that's working. The pop-ups are working. Right, Sloppy, I'm going to put your wee comment up. I make you feel relaxed. Is it my deep, dark voice? I found that moving the mic up here, I didn't move it up so I sound like a radio presenter. I moved the mic up here because I discovered that by having it closer to my mouth, it was cutting out a lot of the reverb of the room. So although I bought a stack of those, see those acoustic panels, I bought a stack of them, and I'll maybe move the camera and show you later. I discovered after having the mic close to my mouth that I don't really need them, so I'm not going to put the rest up. So it seemed to work all right. Tip jar, I thought it was my false teeth. I suppose it does look a bit like teeth. Yeah, what happens with that tip jar is if someone does like a super chat or a donation or whatever it is, then coins drop in, either the gold coins or the gold coins or the silver coins, right? That's what these things are. But see the wee blue squares with my logo on it that I created myself. If you become a subscriber or a member, I think maybe even, then your name comes across the top, and that's what drops in. Coins don't drop in, but my wee face drops in. Right, tip jar, I'll see if I can get that one back off. There we go, boom. Okay, so everything seems to be working fine. What I'll be doing is be keeping an eye on my clock, and at 3 minutes to, I'll be putting this on, and I'll do it just now, and you can check and let me know if the music and everything plays. I'll be starting the countdown. So I'm going to mute the mic now and press that button, and I'll watch the chat, and you can let me know if it plays, you can see it, and you can hear the music. Here we go. There we go. So it seemed a bit choppy there. There was something choppy going on. That's a bit worrying. Right, but I'm assuming you could all hear the music and you could see the video playing. Aye, it was a bit choppy for me. Was it choppy for you too, Jim and Dave and Stevie? Gareth says it's working perfectly. I don't know. It was a bit choppy at my end. It sounded a bit choppy. But if you guys are saying it worked okay, then that's fine with me. Right. So I'm trying my very best here as I'm talking to you. I'm trying my very best to avoid any of my agenda points tonight, because I don't want to start talking about any of my agenda points until the show starts. I'm calling it a show now. It's just a live stream. It's just a live stream, but allow me to call it a show. I'm calling myself a Laird now too, because I am a landowner. So I am the Laird of the drones. That's what I am. Because I'm a landowner, and because I'm a landowner in Scotland, I have the right to call myself a Laird. So I'm the Laird of the drones. You think me like the Lord of the Flies? What? Okay, right. So what I may do is, because I've still got, I think maybe, what time is it exactly? 52, be 55, that'll be 3 minutes, and then so I've still got 6 minutes. I might pop off and get myself a wee glass of wine to bring through, because I've made myself a nice bolognese. I'm going to be getting having spaghetti bolognese after the show, so I'm going to have a wee glass of red wine with it. So I've got a bottle of red wine open. I'll go and grab myself a glass while I'm waiting to start the show. So while I'm away, you can look at the nice colours and entertain yourself, right? And I'll be back in a few minutes. And I'll just mute the mic too. Just actually wondering if it's within or without of YouTube's family policy to promote alcohol drinking. I'm not promoting any. I just want a wee glass of wine. I mean, blackcurrant juice. I just want a wee drink of blackcurrant juice while I'm streaming tonight. And this is the blackcurrant juice bottle that I'll be opening when that one runs out. So, Mr. YouTube, I'm not promoting alcohol. I'm just having a glass of blackcurrant juice, right? Or grape juice. Grape juice. That's what it is. Oh, I must have hit that button again. All I was saying was there that I don't want to violate any YouTube policies by them thinking I'm promoting alcohol. So I'm only drinking some grape juice here, Mr. YouTube CEO. It's only grape juice. Not promoting anything, right? And when that grape juice is finished, I'll be opening this bottle of grape juice as well to top my glass up, right? You can't hear me. You still can't hear me. Can you hear me? No. What? You should be able to hear me. Oh, you pricks. I know what you're doing. You're fooling me. I'll put my sound on here on that and I'll hear if I can hear myself. What? You should be able to hear me. Oh, you pricks. Yeah, nice one. You got me. You did get me. I was looking at I'm looking at my meters and saying, hold on, my meter's going up and down there. It looks as if I'm talking. What's going on? So good. You got me. Well done. Did you plan that while I was away? I will be checking back through the comments. Back without his undies on. No, don't think so. Nice one. Right, so there you go. So I've got, okay, 25 seconds and I'm going to start the intro. It will run for 3 minutes and that will take us right up to 7 o'clock when I'll be back and the show will start. And I'll probably have down that bottle and be down that glass and be halfway through the bottle. Right, here we go, a few seconds to go. So I'm going to start this intro and 5 seconds. Right, and I'll see you in about 3 minutes.
My young love said to me, my mother won't mind, and my father won't spite you for your lack of kind. And she stepped away from me, and she did say, it will not be long till our wedding day. She stepped away from me, and she moved the fair, and fondly I watched her go here and go there, and she went her way homeward as the swan in the evening moved over the lake.
Get back here.
Well, hello there, good evening, and Slanjva. Welcome to the Windswept Robert, Laird of the Drones live stream Sunday night show. I'll have to actually write an intro that makes sense and comes across a bit better than that, rather than just trying to do it off the top of my head. Right, yes, I was watching your chat there while that was playing. It was stuttery, right? I think I know why. Because while it was playing, I was pressing buttons and clicking things on and off, and I think maybe that was affecting it, right? So there, Fraser Thompson, you had a hidden message, but I'm going. Oh, I meant to hit show. I think I had it. There you go. Said stuttering. Aye, it was. I'm hoping now that that I'm not stuttering anymore. I'm hoping that this is not choppy. I'm hoping that this is smooth, maybe as smooth as Sean Connery would be playing 007. Cheers for that, John. How coincidental. Right. Okay, so 7 o'clock. Don't want to mess about too much because I've got quite a lot to go through. I've decided that I've been making too many agenda points, right? I've been making 8 agenda points because I've been too worried that I'll run out of things to say in the hour. And I've been finding that, or I found last week, because it was the first one that I did really, or have I done 2 now? I don't know. I found that I wasn't getting through all of the agenda points. So I've only made 4 agenda points this week, okay? So hopefully we should get through them. And I've decided in my head that I'm going to try to do it a bit more organised. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my first agenda point and go through it and talk. And once I've finished, I'll read through some of the comments that hopefully will relate to the agenda point that I've just been talking about, and I'll answer some of those, and then I'll move on to the second agenda point. So if I do that right, and I've got it, I can flick through, where did my agenda go? Right, I've got 4 agenda points. Excuse me. I can do about 15 minutes on each agenda point, and that should be fine. Okay, so the first agenda point is going to take about 30 seconds. So that's all out the window straight away, right? I'll answer a few comments that have just been made here. So Simply Scotland Gazette, did you know red wine stains your wallies, Robert? Aye, but if you brush your teeth at least twice a day with a good toothpaste, then you shouldn't have that problem, should you, Gary? I don't know, but I'm no dentist. But that's my understanding of how brushing teeth works, you know. You eat things and you drink things that stain your teeth, and then you brush your teeth and they go clean again. Except in Scotland. The problem with Scotland is, I don't know if it's, I think it's the whole of Scotland. But when I was a wee kid, even before I was born, I think they introduced fluoride or fluorine, right? I think it's fluorine is the liquid form and fluoride is the solid form, into the water supply in Scotland permanently. And it's basically, it helps the calcium, it helps your bones, helps make your bones stronger, helps make your teeth stronger. But as a side effect, they have recently discovered it discolours your teeth, right? So a lot of people in Scotland have kind of yellowish tinged to your teeth, and I do too, unfortunately. I'm not going to give you a big smile to show you because it's embarrassing. But no matter how, I mean, I brush my teeth at least twice a day, every day, and it's quite often more than that, and I have done all of my life. But that doesn't make your teeth any whiter. It just makes them clean, you know? So anyway, that's not even an agenda point. I just thought I'd mention that about when Gary said about staining the teeth. I think we may have a few auditing fans in tonight. So mods, keep alert, stay alert, right? Because you never know. And I'll be talking a wee bit, not much tonight, but a wee bit about auditing, because I've come to the end of my auditing phase. I wasn't an auditor, but I've come to the end of my interest in it, and I'll be talking a bit about that tonight and giving you a foreshadow of future events. Right, but anyway, so there we go, 7:05 already, and I haven't even hit my first agenda point, which I will hit it now, right? The first agenda point for tonight, I'm going to be announcing the winner of these Skyrite ND filters for the DJI Mini 2. Put a video up during the week, and I asked, you're probably all aware of this, I asked for a comment saying why you want them and what you're going to do with them. And then I said I would go through all of the comments and I would pick the one that tickled me most. I did that, right? I read every single comment. I replied to a few of them, I think, and I maybe hit the heart and the like on a few of them too. And some of them I read, but I didn't make a response to, because I don't have time to respond to them all. But I read every single one, and I have selected a winner. So there will be a winner announced tonight, and I'll be doing that a wee bit later on in the show, right? And that's a way of keeping you engaged and keeping you watching the show, right? If you know that you might have won these incredibly fantastic filters, but you won't find out till later. It might keep you hanging on a little bit. That's a wee trick. Aye, I'm talking to you like your children. Okay, right, so that was agenda point 1. Do you know how I said it would take 15 minutes? Well, there you go. That's agenda point 1 out of the window. And having done that, I will now... Stevie, well done, pal. I'll now go through and have a look at your comments. I'm just saying, Stevie, well done, because I see that Torb taking our rights back, who is an auditor and has been taken down many a time by our friend Natalie, is in tonight, and Stevie is deleting some messages that he's putting in. So well done, Stevie. I don't know what the messages were, didn't read them, but I trust your judgment that you took them down. Right. So I've got myself in the screen. I'm going to take myself off it because that's really distracting. Right. So I'll have a wee look at some of your comments. There's a lot of comments on the wee preamble, which I may make shorter and shorter now that I know things are working. I'll tell you what, once this video is finished, once this live stream is finished, it turns into a video. Leave a comment in it letting me know, do you like a wee bit of a preamble? Shall I continue to do that? Have maybe 5-10 minutes. I like Cranes, thanks for the sub. Do you quite like the wee 5-10 minute preamble before the show starts, or should I just forget that and get straight into the show at 7 o'clock? If you leave a comment once this live stream becomes a video, and I'll do whatever the majority wants, within reason. Right, okay. So there was a few hellos. Gaz says hello, good evening to everyone. Good, not just to me, but to everybody today. Caroline says, I am sounding just fine, Robert. Thank you very much, Caroline. I have to be careful with this microphone because this is touch sensitive. Like this, for example, I just turned it off there. You touch it and it mutes it. You don't have to press any buttons. So I have to be careful if I touch it accidentally. It may mute itself without me knowing. Right, so there we go. Right. PD Tech, aye, that was the kind of pre-show. It's not really a pre-show as per se. It's just that I've been coming on a wee bit early to check that everything's working, because if I hit the button at 7 and it doesn't work, I could be in trouble. But if I hit the button at 7:15 and it doesn't work, it gives me 15 minutes to sort it out. However, it just went on. Everything seems to be working. So for those of you who are having a little libation along with me, right, another grape juice, Slangiva. And no, I wouldn't be down in the whole bottle during the live stream unless you all donate a fair amount. And then maybe I will. Right. Don't know what that's all about, but there you go. Right. Mark says, don't forget to hit the like button. That would be nice. I don't know how many likes I've got. I suppose I could flick back and look and see. I've got 21 likes. I don't know if that's good or not. I've got 21 likes, and how many people have I got in? I've got 52 people in, so about half of you have hit the like button. I expect half of you are auditors then. You maybe hit that button and not that button. Who knows? Right, where are we anyway? Right, I have to watch it. I don't run over and go past all of my agenda points. Right. Okay, Chip Tech Air. You didn't answer my question that I asked before, Chip Tech, which is, are you based in Ayr? I would imagine you are, but maybe you did answer and I didn't notice. Right. Okay, there's been a lot of comments, and I'll have to just fly by them. Yeah, I don't know what happened when I press this. I'm taking a bit of risk pressing the take our rights back. I click on it, nothing happens because Stevie deleted it. Well done, Stevie. Right, there's Don. Hello, Mickey Moo Productions. Don't know what the RS. He still didn't tell me what the RS stands for. Right. So it seems like Stevie actually hid taking our rights back. Well done, Stevie. I don't know what caused you to do that, but absolutely. For those of you who don't know, Torb, as he is known, taking our rights back, is an absolute horrendous auditor of a person. So he had, I mean, I don't even want. I think the guy was welcome here, but if Stevie thinks that he's out of hand and needs to be hidden or blocked or whatever, then that's absolutely fine by me. Okay, Caroline's hitting the Pepsi Max tonight. Is it the cherry flavoured one or not? Right, okay. So there you go. Oh, Scott Bishop's in tonight. Scott in the house. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, excuse me very much. I'm going to move on to my second agenda point now, even though it's only 11 minutes past. Right, and that is the title for tonight on the thumbnail, Head Tracking with the DJI Goggles 2, and also the other goggles, what were they called, Enviro or Envir, I forget what they were called, they got a funny name, with the Motion Controller Mark II, right? I've been interested in that, right? And the thing that interested me most about it, and I've asked a few people, in particular, I was asking Mark about this, and Mark confirmed a few things, but Mark's only just got his Avata, so and he's still just playing about with it, just getting to know it. So neither of us are quite sure. But I finally found the answer to the question that I was most interested in about the head tracking feature. And the answer came to me in a video from FlightPath. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you, if not all of you, are subscribed to FlightPath's video channel, right? If you're not, Mark is going to put the link up to FlightPath's channel, or Alden's channel, and please go ahead and subscribe. I emailed Alden because I want this is his. I wonder. Oh, hold on, right? Just give us a wee second, and see if I can put his banner up. I think I can put his banner up there. Yeah, that's Alden's banner. Let me just switch over to it there and see if it comes up. Aye, right. So that's FlightPath's banner. That's his channel. Mark will be hopefully putting a link up in the chat now, even as we speak. He did. There you go. So that's FlightPath's channel. If you're not subscribed, and I know most of you, if not all of you, will be, then go over there. Don't know who that was that just subscribe, but thanks very much anyway, whoever it was. So that's Alden's channel, and I messaged him. Well, I sent him an email actually, asking him if it was okay for me to use a wee portion of his most recent video that he did, which was about the head tracking feature using the Goggles 2 and the Motion Control 2 and the Mini 3 Pro, because DJI have now opened up the Motion Controller and the Goggles 2 to the Mini 3 Pro. And the head tracking feature has always been something that I thought that's really interesting, because I thought, does this mean that it can be two things? Something's buzzing, I don't know what it is. Anyway, it could be. All right, Mark, thanks. I've just got that email. I'll have to shut that off. I can't accept emails while the live stream's going on. Yeah, I haven't worked out how to do that. Anyway, right, there's two ways the head tracking could have worked when I was thinking about it. And one was that you controlled the direction the drone would fly by just looking at it. You know, it would go down or up, and I thought, well, that's fair enough, but you know, a bit dangerous. What if somebody taps you in the shoulder and you turn round and suddenly the drone hooks round, right? And the other option was that you would control the direction of the drone with a motion controller, but it would allow you to look around as the drone is flying. Like, just imagine you were Top Gun, you were Maverick, right, in your aircraft, and you're flying a straight line forward, but you decide to look over there and wave at Iceman, but your drone that you're flying would continue in a straight line. And I thought that would be fantastic for a few reasons. One of the reasons I'm going to talk about, that I think it impacts VLOS, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But before that, I want to get rid of Scott's wee message there, and I'll do it by bringing Graham's up. There you go, and putting it down. Right, before I talk about that, the possible implications on VLOS of using that, that operation, I'm going to show you the little clip from FlightPath from Alden. right? So it's only about 30 or 40 seconds I'm going to play, and I'm hoping that the sound comes through. I haven't tested it yet. So as soon as it starts playing, if you can hear it, let me know in the comments. I'll be watching the comments, and if you can't hear it, I'll stop it and try to sort it. But here it is anyway. So here's the wee video that caught my attention from Alden from Flight Path. Here we go.
Follow mode right now. We're just testing it out.
Right, I realise that there's no sound. I'm going to turn that sound on now, and I'll rewind it a little bit. Yep, that was my error, schoolboy error. Here we go. Jim, you say spotter required. Haha, I want to talk about that. Right, listen.
Left. How cool is that?
Can you hear the sound? Okay, that's my error. Sorry, right, let me pull it back. Okay, I'm going to have to feed the sound through the mic. It's the only way I can do it for the moment, but I'll do that. I'll play it again. I'll feed the sound through my mic. So here we go.
Left. How cool is that? And I think I'm in follow mode right now because you can see my horizon's just flat. But we're just testing it out, so not a big deal. But as you can see here, so I'm going towards where that circle is pointed, but I can actually look this way. I can look all the way around. The drone is now turning around, but I'm still going in the same direction. So I can look to the right, and that's me over there, my home point. Look back, and the drone keeps going straight because I need to control the drone with the motion controller. So the head tracking just really helps you be able to look around, just like that, but you're still using the remote control, the motion controller, to pilot the drone as far as direction goes.
Right, so there we go. Let me bring my handsome Scottish face back on. Right. That I aired there. I didn't quite have the sound sorted out for that. I was in a bit of a rush today. Didn't manage to sort out. But I just put this mic on over at the speakers, and it wasn't ideal, but at least you heard it there. Right, so that was a fantastic video. Please go over and watch the entire video from Alden. It's great. He goes into quite a bit of depth about it. But the bit that really interested me was this idea that you can fly the drone forward and you can look all around as it's flying forward. Now, let's talk about the implications that may have on VLOS. Because I found another article here, and I'm going to show you that. I'll bring this article up. And this article here, right, and I'll cite all the references to the article here, right? But it's about VLOS, right? And it tells you here, right? VLOS is when the remote pilot is able to clearly see the unmanned aircraft or drone and the surrounding airspace, always at any point while it is airborne. In a nutshell, this is the important bit. In a nutshell, the main objective of VLOS is to ensure that the operator has full awareness of the drone's position, movements and surroundings and can make accurate judgments about its trajectory and potential hazard. Right, here's the resources if you want to screenshot that or whatever. You can do that later on. Right, but let's have a heated debate. So here's the debate, right? VLOS has to change with the advances in technology. Okay, it simply has to, right? As does all legislation. All legislation has to change as technology increases. Now, the whole point of not the whole point, but one of the main parts of having a VLOS requirement, according to the CAA and the FAA, is that the operator of the unmanned aircraft vehicle, i.e. the drone, has to be able to see the surrounding airspace around the drone to make sure there are no incoming other aircraft. Now, with the recent development of head tracking, which allows you, it allows you to be flying a drone and look all around the entire airspace around about the drone. And that way you can be sure, no matter how far away it is from you, even if it's out of your sight, you can still tell what the surrounding airspace is like. You can still tell if there are any aircraft in the area, even when the drone is out of your visual line of sight. Now, you're all going to be thinking, aye, but the VLOS regulations say this, blah, 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 blah. And I agree with you. They do say that is not allowed. But there's just been a jump in technology that now allows us to be aware of the airspace round about us when the drone is not within our visual line of sight. That must have an impact on the regulations. If it doesn't, that means that no matter how advanced the technology becomes, there can never be a change in the VLOS regulations. That's not right. And it's not the way the law and regulations work. The way that the law and regulations work is that they develop and change according to time going past, new technology, new devices coming into play. So I'm not saying that this is going to allow you to see the drone if it's out of sight, because if the drone is beyond your visual line of sight, you can't see the drone. But you will be able to see the airspace around the drone when the drone is out of visual line of sight. So therefore, you're already saying that half of the reason that you need to have visual line of sight, which is to be able to see the airspace around the drone, can now be fulfilled without you actually having the drone and the drone itself in visual line of sight. So what do you think about that? What do you think? Is there room here for a possibility of the VLOS regulation being rewritten, or possibly a change there, or some kind of adaptation in that? I think there's room for something. I don't know what yet, but I thought that was really interesting, an interesting point. Even as an advance warning about future technology, I'm starting to feel like Matthew Brennan. Here we have this, and here we have this, and this is here, and this is here, and that's here we have it. He does a lot of his entire videos with his hands up here. I always think somebody's standing behind his camera with a gun saying, "Gee's your wallet, Matthew," because watch his videos. The next time you see his hands are always up here like this. Anyway. What was I saying? So I think as technology is advancing, what has always happened in the history of mankind in civilised countries like Scotland, the law changes with usually a lot slower, and the law tails behind the changes and the advancements in technology. But I think this is an area for, let's have another look at this at VLOS. Do we really now need to have a spotter or the drone controller to be able to see the airspace surrounding the drone when the flyer of the drone can actually look around the drone himself as if he's in the drone and check the airspace in a much better way than I can check it from the ground with my bad eyesight? Okay, so that's the debate, and I'm going to check through the comments to see how many of the 99.9% of people disagree. Disagree with me. Right, okay. Right, here's Jim saying it's going to be fun, but I don't think it will be the main way to control normal drones. Absolutely, Jim. I have the motion controller 1, and I have the DJI FPV Laddie, and I don't fly them that often for a number of reasons, which I'm not going to go into right now. It's obvious what the reasons are, but when I do go out and fly them, I have much more fun flying with the motion controller than I do with the sticks controller. Much more fun. Now, there are limitations to the motion controller, like, for example, you can't fly in reverse. You can't make the drone fly backwards. But with the new motion controller 2, you can. There is a way for you to do that. So it's a lot of fun to fly like that. It is, and there's almost no learning curve either. I could go out with someone who's never flown a drone before. I could launch the drone, laddie, a DJI FPV drone, hand the motion controller to someone and say, fly it. I could tell them, you squeeze the trigger to make it go, you do that to make it go up, that to make it go down, that to make it go that way, that to make it go that, and they'd be flying it within 5 seconds, right? It's very, very easy to fly with that, and it's a lot of fun because you feel like Tom Cruise, in Top Gun. You do, and it's much more fun. It's not quite as precise, but it's much more fun than flying that. If you haven't tried one, if you live fairly close to me and you want a shot at flying, laddie with my motion controller, let me know and I'll arrange to meet up with you and give you a shot and you can see how much fun it is. Right, so there you go. Don't know what was clever about that, guys. Maybe it's the technology that's clever. Possibly. Maybe it was Alden who was clever in making that video. It's a video that I've wanted to make for a while, but because I don't have the motion controller and I've the goggles and the motion controller too. I couldn't make the video, but Alden did, and that was clever. Right, I think we're going off on a wee side tangent here. The Gaming King says, would the DJI Mini SE work in the rain? Don't see why not. Lassie flies in the rain, she doesn't care, so possibly aye. Although Dave says 3 people already told you no, right? Well, okay. It's not a great idea to fly in the rain, right? And the reason it's not a great idea is because the circuit board inside your drone could get wet and could cause a short circuit and the drone could be ruined, okay? So it's not a great idea, but I've had Lassie out in the rain a couple of times and she's been okay, so there you go. A home point would be great in all of the drones, aye. The way they have it on the motion controller, the way H that you can fly towards would be great. Right, here's Graham, something about VLOS. Let's see what Graham says. With VLOS, should we not all be challenging the CAA 50 metre view? Don't see, pardon the pun, CAA interfering with golfers on golf courses. Golfers on golf courses? Is that because they can't see the ball when it's in flight, Graham? Maybe? I don't know. Right, do you know what? I made a video about when they brought in the AMC, the acceptable means of compliance in flying a drone, and added in this whole idea you must be able to see the orientation of the drone at all times when it's in flight. And for a mini-sized drone, it effectively... Did you see that? It effectively... I hope there's no vegans in. Sorry, I was meant to try and kill that fly. It caught me by surprise. It effectively means that the maximum distance that you can fly that drone and truthfully see the orientation of the drone without working it out by turning it and, moving it, it's between 50 and 100 metres depending on your eyesight. You know what I mean? That is limiting your... I'd say even someone with the best eyesight in the world could only truthfully tell the orientation of the drone by only visually looking at it as a maximum of 120 metres. I certainly couldn't tell the orientation of Lassie after, I think it was 60, 65 metres. I've since put on, as you can see Lassie up there, I've since put on some fluorescent strips and I can see it a bit further, but it's still really limiting the distance you can fly. So perhaps the CAA could rethink that, but anyway. Nick says that you'd be no good with goggles, that kind of motion would make you puke. Yeah, Nick, there are some people that is just their reaction to wearing goggles. They'll never be able to wear goggles. If you're one of those people and you already know it, then don't buy the goggles. If you're not sure and you buy the goggles and you are feeling sick like that, I'll buy them off you for half price. And talking about buying things, that would move me on to my next agenda point. I know I've skipped by a lot of comments probably about that, and I will go through them and read all of the comments as I always do. And if I find that there are quite a lot of comments that I want to answer, or I want to comment on, or questions that I want to answer, I'll make a short video about it, including those. But for the moment, I'm going to move on to my next point, which is right. It's not. I'll come on to the talking about buying things after this point, but the point I want to talk about now is the recent DJ audits video that I made and I have now removed from my channel. I want to speak a little bit about it. There's that pesky fly again. I'm not going to speak about it too much because I'm producing a video all about it at the moment, right? I've been working on it for a week now, and it may take another week because this is quite a video, right? And I want to spend a lot of time on getting everything right, and I've uncovered and unearthed some quite incredible things about Mr. Dix, which I'll be revealing in my video. So I don't want to preempt it. I don't want to speak about it too much. But what I will say is that hold on, Nick's get his comment up. I'll just take that back down by clicking that and that. Oh, it's still up there. How do I get that down? There we go. What I will say is that, what was I talking about? I was talking about the video I'm working on. No, right. I'll briefly mention the reason why I took the video down. I go into it in quite some depth, and I've got lots of clips to show and lots of different screenshots from the YouTube procedures for requesting a video takedown and a copyright claim and things like that. And in the video, I'll go into that in quite some depth, as well as going into Mr. Nigel Dix in quite some personal depth too. Oh, he's not going to like that at all. He's just not going to like it. But the reason that I took the video down, I can't really say without revealing the content of the video that I'm making just now, which is a really, I think, a really good and interesting video. Let me put it this way. Mr. Dix may have thought that he has won a victory over me by making me remove my video and remove all of the negative comments that were on that video against him. But he's got another thing coming. The video may be gone, and I chose to take the video down. There are quite complicated reasons. It's not as simple as right, you've been told by YouTube that you've got to take the video down, so you took it down. It's not quite straightforward as that, because there's a whole appeals process that you can go through and different things. But I will explain in depth in the video why I took that video down. So if Mr. Dix is watching this live stream, which he may very well be doing, but is not commenting in the chat because he knows he'd get a new hole ripped for him if he did comment, then watch this space. And I watched a tiny little clip, just the wee preview clip of a recent video he made where he actually got physically and bodily chucked out a building that he was in. So the worm has turned, Mr. Dix, right? Everything's changing and people are not putting up with your garbage anymore, right? You were ejected for a building just the other day. Things are not going too good for you. You're hanging about with some of the most vile, sewer ratish people that have ever appeared on YouTube. Do you realise that who those people are you hanging about with? You know, at least one of those people has just received one of those. It's called an ASBO in Scotland. I forget what you call it in England. You change the name from ASBO to something else. He's just received one of those, and you're actually hanging about. You're wandering about and doing auditing with them. Anyway, it's up to you who you want to hang about with, but it just shows the calibre of your own morals when you're hanging about people like that. Anyway, so the video will reveal all about why I took it down and a lot more in-depth stuff. behind the scenes stuff. So it should be interesting. So watch out for that. I'm hoping to be able to work on it this coming week as much as I possibly can when I finish my work during the day, and hopefully get it out for next weekend. I hope I can. So watch out for that. And I've been working on my. I'm not going to do it now, but I've been working on my Leicester accent, because there's a few impersonations will be happening during that video too. Okay, so all I have to say in that for the moment. Right, let me have a wee look at some of your comments. Right. Oh, right. So an answer to the golfing thing. Golfers cannot see ball in flight and cause injuries, unlike drones. You're right. Injuries to people and property. Don't think drones have ever done that. I don't know if there's ever been a case where a drone has caused any injury to property or people. I mean, there's been near misses, the hurricane incident, the Gatwick incident, if that even happened. We're still not sure if that is actually a real thing or not. But golf boys have certainly caused some injuries, right? Clapping for the nurses. They're not, Tazzy, I don't know what you're talking about here, but the nurses don't want clapped, right? The nurses want money. They want paid a decent wage for the work they do. They don't want clapped. I'm not getting at you, Tazzy, by the way. It's just that's something that really annoyed me when everybody was out clapping for the nurses. I never went out and clapped for the nurses, because I thought, how's that helping them? Here, well done you, here's a pat on the head. They want money. They want better conditions. Anyway, right, sorry, I'm getting off political here and I don't want to do that. Right, Caroline says here, the rules for free flight model airplanes is that you must not knowingly fly beyond visual line of sight. Golfers do exactly that. I don't know if they're flying though, are they? I mean, the boys on the remote control, that could be a t-shirt. Golfers don't have remote control balls. So they're not really flying them, are they? They're just sending them on their merry way and hoping they land in a wee hole. That could be a t-shirt as well. I hope I land in the nearest hole. Right, enough of that. Enough nonsense, right? Aye, golfers have orange balls too. Right. So here, Dave's talking about some goons having threatened him on Friday. I don't know what you're referring to there, Dave. I'm wondering if it's the Port Authority or the Navy guys again, because I know you had a wee bit of bother with them before. I'll read through the comments later on to see. DJI Droneabout says that you can't stand VR for more than 5 minutes and would be the same with the drone goggles. I don't know if that's a thing that you could get used to, that seasick feeling, the disconnection between what your eyes are seeing and what your brain is telling you, your body's telling you. Your stomach gets upset because of the discombobulation between the eyes and the brain, I think. I don't know if that's something you'd used to. I know that fighter pilots can increase the number of Gs that they can take before they black out or red out. And so I think, and that's more training, more practice. I mean, obviously there's a certain point that everyone will eventually black out, depending on the number of G-force on the G-force that they take. But I think that they can increase that. So maybe you can nullify that effect over a period of time. I don't know. I'm not a dentist and I'm not a doctor. Right. Right, don't know what that means. Right. Right, Nick. Okay. You spy a smart controller. That moves me nicely onto my next point, right? And my next point is that I sold. I'm always skint, right? I'm not one of these big rich YouTubers. I'm just a working guy, and I've only ever earned enough to pay my bills. But I was in the fortunate position of being a musician for 30, 40 years, and I accumulated a lot of equipment, and I've now retired from gigging because my health won't let me, and I've got all of this gear left over. So I have been selling it off bit by bit. And I did sell off some gear recently that allowed me a certain amount of money and gave me a choice of buying a new bit of drone gear. So I had the option well, I wasn't quite, I didn't quite have enough to buy a Mavic 3 Classic, which is one of things that I thought I maybe wanted, right? But I had nearly enough, and I thought if I sell another bit of gear, I might have enough of that. So that was one potential option. I also had the option of the goggles 2, I think they're called, and the motion controller 2, which would allow me to fly Caledonia, my Mini 3 Pro, using the motion controller and the goggles, the head tracking, and that was very, I thought that's a good thing as well. But I didn't go for either of those, right? I went for something which you might think is a bit crazy, but let me show you what I did go for. Right, I went for this thing here, right? And this is the RC Pro, okay? And one of the reasons, probably the main reason I went for this, is because of this wee thing at the back here. Do you see that? That port there. That is an HDMI port. And what that allows me to do, in fact, can I do it just now? I maybe can. Right, that allows me to hook the RC controller up through the HDMI cable. I'll do it right now. I haven't tested, I hope it works. And I'll turn it on. Right, and I happen to have Caledonia taped. I'll move this for a minute, right? Watch this. I happen to have her taped up and sitting on that pole right there. Can you see her? Right. So what I'll do is, excuse me for fiddling about all over the place. I'll turn Caledonia on. Give us a second. Right, so that's Caledonia turned on. That's the RC Pro controller turned on and connected the HDMI port into my computer. And if everything goes well, so I can see on the screen, right? But with the HDMI port, what you can do is you can connect it to a big screen, a telly, a 65-inch telly, or a 27-inch monitor. And it will show on here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if I can bring Caledonia's screen up there. There you go, you can, right? So there, I hope you can see this. Can you see this in the screen? Let me know in the chat if you can see that, right? Caroline says, aye, it's taped up to a pole with duct tape. Right, so there you go. So you can actually see that's Caledonia. I'm scrolling her up and down now, scrolling a scroll wheel, and I can zoom in and out. Obviously, her sensor's not as good as the other one, so you can see it's a bit darker there. But you can see. So I can. The reason I bought this, right? The reason I bought this is so that as the summer's coming in now, I can start going out and live stream from out in the field. And not only live stream, but I can include the screen from Caledonia. So I can send her out, be live streaming, watching, having full VLOS, probably with a spotter with me too. And you guys in the chat can say, oh, what's that thing over there? Fly over there and see what that is. I'll fly Caledonia and you'll be able to see all of that. So that is why I decided, instead of another drone, or another gizmo gadget, right, for my drone, I decided to go for that, right? And that's one of the features. It's got a lot of really fantastic things on it, and I'll be making a few videos. Just let me put it over here now. Right, I'll be making a few videos about the RC Pro, just to show you what it can do. Now, it's not cheap, right? It's not cheap at all, but if you it's not any dearer than buying the goggles and the motion controller or a Mini 3 Pro. It's not any dearer than that, although it's not cheap, right? But what it is also is it's a direct replacement for this. So I now no longer need this. So if any of you are interested in buying this from me, I'll give you a good deal on it, right? I don't know how much they go for second hand. This one's it's still got a screen protector on it, so the screen's perfect. So if you want it, I'll do you a good deal. Just message me or email me and let me know. Right, so there we go. So Caledonia's up there still watching me, and I thought, that's all. I'll just turn Caledonia's thingy off now, right? So bye bye Caledonia, to do a live stream and not just make a video, but actually do it live. So that way I can plan things ahead of time by asking in the community, right, here's 3 different locations that I could go to. Here's one with some ruins, here's one with an old abbey, here's one with a loch, here's one with this. Where would you like me to go? And have an idea what you want to look at. And then when I get there, you can actually control Caledonia. You can say where you want her to go. So what do you think about that? Did I make a good investment, or have I just wasted a lot of money? I think it's a no bad investment, but I'm always prepared to listen to assenting views means you agree with me. Dissenting views, yeah. Right, okay, I can see where the chat's going. Right, I can see it now. Look at this. Oh my God. Right, Well done, guys. Is that the calibre of the subscribers that I have in my channel? And I'm getting Nigel Dix into trouble for hanging about with a bunch of reprobates. And I've got these kind of comments in my channel. Right, okay, fair enough. Right. There you go. That's a good question you have there. Getting back to sanity and normality. That is a good question you've asked there, DJI Drone, about. I don't know. And that's one of the tests that I'll be doing. I'll be taking out in fact, if you want to buy this, maybe I'll not be selling it for a wee while, because I'm going to go out and I'm going to do some tests, comparing this controller with the new RC Pro, just to see if there is, what I've heard so far and what I've read is that there's not much of a difference in the signal strength if you're out in a rural area. But there is a big difference if you're in an urban area, and in particular the penetration. Here we go, we're going to get all the comments again. Oh, he's talking about penetration now. The penetration of the RC Pro, this one, I'll just unplug the HDMI. Right, the penetration of this one is much better. I'm just going to turn Caledonia back on because, oh no, I just unplugged her. Might not plug her back in. That's quite an interesting thing that just happened there. Right, hope she comes up. If you these things at the back, these you've got them in the normal controller, but if I do that one, she turns. So that's quite interesting. You want to do some shorts, right? But you can do that with the normal controller too. So I'm going to be doing some tests comparing both controllers. And I have heard that the penetration of that one, the RC Pro, is much, much better than the penetration of the RM330. The screen also, I think this is 700 nits. The screen on that one is 700, is 1,000 nits. But what my plan is I've got a spare like 27-inch monitor. I'm going to take it out in my car and mount it in the back of my car. And I'm going to hook it up to the RC Pro, and I'm going to fly with a great big screen. So I'm not going, is she really there? What's that? Is that a cow or a sheep? I can't tell. What is that thing? I'll be able to see it all on the massive big screen and fly about like that. But I'll be creating a few videos showing you all of this, how I do all of this. Haven't done it yet, but I'll be showing you some videos when I go and do that and try things out. You'll be coming along with me on the tasting journey as well, because I'll be trying things out, as filming things for the video as I try them out, as I always do. I'm not one of these creators who goes out and tests everything 100 times to make sure it works and then makes a video about it showing you, look, this works and that works. That's not my style. My style is to say, I wonder what happens if you do this. Let's start the camera and we'll all see together. So I'll be doing that, making some videos. That's 10 to off to watch my time. So I'll be making some videos about that. about the differences, and is there a difference in the signal strength? I don't know if there is or not. If there is, that's another wee bonus. But there are so many benefits with the RC Pro over the RM330. I've never liked this thing. It's, as you know, I've made videos saying how much I don't like this. And so for a lot of reasons, that's the one. And I'd like to say Stevie Elder, thanks very much for the chats that we've been having over the past week about how do I connect up the RC Pro, how would I make this happen, can it do it, because Stevie's got one, can it do this, can it do that, and Stevie's been helping me answer a lot of questions that I've been wondering about, so thanks very much for that, Stevie. I really appreciate that, and you helped me to make the decision. And thanks also to Mark, who has sent me a fantastic email earlier on today telling me about his experience with the Avata, and he absolutely loves it and he would recommend it. And I don't want to speak for you, Mark, because that's the other thing I was thinking about. I could get an Avata, couldn't I? Because I already have the goggles and I already have the motion controller and the controller. I could just buy an Avata. So that was another thing I thought when I sold off a couple of my amplifiers. I could have got an Avata, but I didn't. I decided to go for the RC Pro because I'm happy with Lassie and Caledonia and Laddie. I don't really need any other drones. I don't need an Avata. I don't need the Mavic Classic 3. I'd like it, but I don't need it. A Mavic 3 Classic. So, and the goggles and the motion controller, do I really need them? Not really. So that's why I decided to go for that. Okay, anyway, it's 7 minutes to go, and I did say the veins at the top there. See them? Look, they're falling in. Did you see that bouncing it? Right, so we now know that it does work. The tip jar does work. Graham, thanks very much for that. I appreciate it. Right, so on to the winner of the Skyreet things. Right, okay. Let me... I had that to bring you up. I didn't bring it up, but I was going to bring this screen up at one point and say, yeah, should I go and buy the DJI Mavic 3 Classic? Look at it. I thought, ooh, lovely, but no. So anyway, forget that. I was going to talk a bit about it, but I'm not going to, because I want to talk about the winner. Right. So I have picked a winner. Right. I'm just trying to get a couple of things up on the screen here because I want to show you a few comments. Right. There's only one prize, right, and that is the first prize. That's the prize. The first, this, right. So there's only one winner, but I do want to mention the runner-up and the bronze medalist, if you like, because I read all of the comments and I really like this one. This is a comment from Gareth. Hope that's how you pronounce your name, Gareth. Who said he just recently got a DJI Mini 2 and absolutely loved using it. It's been an excellent distraction for the stress of your first year at university. You're studying geology, fantastic. That's a great subject to study. And you've been using your drone to get some fantastic aerial shots of local geological features. Looking forward to using your Mini 2 a lot more in the summer holidays when you return to your family. So you'd certainly put the filters to good use. Good luck to everyone else entering the giveaway. Gareth, I really liked that. It didn't win, right? But well done with your studies. And yeah, I mean, a drone and your work just fits together, like, as Ricky Gervais would say. Like that. Okay, so the runner-up, right, who also didn't win them, right? But I like this comment. The runner-up was from Jim Thorley, who said, fantastic, Robert, I wouldn't mind these filters for my old Mini 2. I passed it on, but these filters would be useful for the novice flyer that he passed his Mini drone on to help capture great footage and help him progress. Now, the reason I liked that, and it was the runner-up, is because Jim wanted the filters not for himself. He was going to pass them on to someone else, and I really liked that. And Jim, you almost nailed it with that because of that. So, who's doing the drum roll? I saw that. like drum solo, is that the drum roll? Right, so the winner of the Geology Rocks, well done, Dave. Oh, no. Right, okay, so the winner of the Skyreet ND filters for the DJI Mini 2, and let me bring up this. Right, I will read it out before I show you it, and before I tell you who it is, and I'll explain why this is the winner. Right, the winning comment was this: Robert, my grandson Anthony, 14, has recently passed his drone test as he wants to fly a real drone like his granddad's. I'll make a deal. If you gift me the filters, I'll gift him the Mini 2 and the filters, and I'll even post a video of his reaction when he gets them. He suffers from autism, and passing this test was a massive achievement from him, and that is from Simply Scotland, Gary. Right? How can that not be the winner, right? For a lot of reasons. Gary's he's not just going to pass the filters on. He's going to pass his entire Mini 2 and the filters on to his grandson. That struck a chord with me because my grandson is also autistic, right? And I've had him out. It's Charlie. You've maybe seen him in some of my videos. He was with me when we did the geofencing one, right? Charlie's autistic too, and he loves to fly my drone. So that hit a chord with me, right? And it's because it's so selfless, and Gary's he's not getting anything for himself, right? He's passing on not just the filters, but he's passing on the actual drone, the Mini 2 and the filters. That's a winner, right? Can be anything but the winner. So well done, Gary. Simply Scotland, Gary. Just email me or message me on Facebook, and I'll arrange to get the filters to you. And I hope your grandson has a fantastic time with them. And I'll hold you to that promise. You promised that you'd make a video too. What exactly did you say? You'll make a video of his reaction when he gets them. Right, okay. I would love to see that, okay? And I wouldn't publish it if you don't want me to, obviously. You know, if he makes a wee video of his drone flight, maybe I could publish that, you know, if it would be okay with you. But there you go. So I hope you're happy with that. I hope everyone's happy. And I hope nobody's too disappointed that they didn't win, right? Gareth and Jim, you were close, but no cigar. So I hope everybody's happy with that. I will be doing the members video for their draw, which was I don't have them with me here. I do. There. Right, the members video for these filters, right, which is there you go, the FX Gold and FX Blue pack, right? Never used, never been on the drone. The pack's open because I just thought, what do these look like? I was curious, and I wanted to see what they physically look like, so I took them out and opened them and looked at them, but they've never been on the drone, never been used. So they're going to one of the members of the channel. I'll be making the video this week. It'll be the same thing, right? I just want a comment telling me what you're going to be doing, why you want these filters, and what you're going to be doing with them, right? Now, you can now be guided by Gary's comment if you like. And one of the members of the channel will be winning these, and I'll announce that next Sunday. If I've managed to get the video done, because I'm really busy with the DJ audits video. So that's it. That's the show for this week, right? And I'm watching my second thing counting down. And if you notice, I've drank hardly any of my grape juice, right? So that have been very good. But I'm going to go and have my spaghetti bolognese now, and I'm going to be drinking the rest of that glass. And I expect I may open this bottle of grape juice too. So Gary, get in touch with me one way or another, and I'll arrange with you to get these things sent to you, these filters sent to you. Right, thanks very much, all of my moderators. Stevie, I'll have a wee chat with you about what went on, why you banned that guy. Thanks for everybody for watching, and I'll see you next Sunday.